jumping on. First and foremost, the first time here, welcome, and if it's not, welcome back. Right? I'm gonna just jump in because my spirit been yelling. He's been yelling at me. It's been a crescendo to go ahead and get this retraction, message retraction out. I don't even know, man. And then it just seems like this week is going to be a pretty pivotal week for multiple reasons that remain to be seen and lived out and everything like that. I just read the energetic signatures. Um, so I guess today's the day, right? So let's get some housekeeping. Happy Sunday. Happy Father's Day. To as applicable as it can be. My heart goes out to all the daddies, all the papas, all the good sirs. Holding it down. All the neighborhood dads. All the grill masters and everything, all the jolly green huggers, what I'm saying? Like, give you them bear hugs and everything like that. Definitely as a mother of three, you know, the importance of fathers cannot be overstated, and or exaggerated. It can't be any of that, just I mean, fathers are important, even if you're a surrogate father or you're a stepfather or you're like just filling that role, even if you don't have any biological kids and you're a spiritual father. The role of a father is just important. So happy Father's Day to the fathers out there, it being papas and everything. And also, happy Father's Day to the fathers that would like to be there physically with the children, to who aspire to overcome their childhood trauma and their addictions and everything like that, trying to get all those boulders, spiritual boulders out of the way so that they can be more present fathers. Praying for them, and everything, because we can't keep, God's always doing a new thing, so we can't keep, belaboring the point. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with moms, there's moms that's not present in their children's lives, and there's single fathers holding it down. Shout out to the single fathers. You know what I'm saying? So, gotta always just kind of like keep the hope alive, keep faith alive for the ones that are trying to be in their children's lives, and let's what's the word? Let's open that avenue up as much as possible. As much as we can. You know what I'm saying? Just as you just want that presence in children's lives. They need a mother's love and a father's love. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a. It shouldn't be a debate. It shouldn't be a competition. You know what I'm saying? And everything. Hello. I don't know if it be the bots that be saying said hi. I don't know what that means. But yeah, happy Father's Day, period. Period, point blank. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just gotta give homage and respect where it's due. Oh yeah, that's a bot. Okay. So so all that being said, happy Father's Day. Let that be known. Importance of a father is just, it is what it is. No debate. And just praying for all the fathers that's trying to be in their kids' lives and stuff like that. Okay. Okay. I guess I'm getting to the point where I gotta start. Uh, Let me see. There we go. Because there will be, we're not going to really be putting up with none of that negativity. Everybody can express themselves as much as possible, and everything. So it's a safe space and everything. But yeah, we're not going. We life too short. We're not gonna be doing hatred around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it can't be peace, love, and joy and kindness and fruits of the spirit and stuff like that. Like I said, express yourself. But this is a safe space, and as much as possible, I'm gonna moderate it to that point. But that being said, like I said, okay, I put the fathers out the way, so basically, like, this message has been on my spirit as far as like about 2 videos ago. I had said about I was talking about identity, kind of like synchronizing my identity series into like one video. And basically I had said, I don't know, this is my spirit telling me to fix the message, because it is what it is. Like, to me, you put it out there, and hopefully it helps somebody, or there's some conversation that gets had or something like that. But I had said that I didn't necessarily know the blessing of being a wife. I had said that, vernacularly, and stuff, just because I'm not currently married. But the correction is, I am a wife. I am a wife. It is what it is. I'm not married. Because according to the Bible, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. And everything. And show the proof. Okay, yeah. So I'm talking about in the spiritual sense. So on this channel, we talk about the whole being. So married would be that paper, the paper, the ring, and the ceremony, like the man-made concepts and structures and stuff. But a wife in the divine sense, is that's what God, it's God. It's a covenant. It's a covenant with God. We put it in the God sphere. So it's nothing to show man, and everything like that. It's to be shown to my kingdom spouse, if he's if he hasn't gotten hit by a train somewhere. If it's a delian in a ditch, who knows? I don't know. I joke, I kid, I joke. I have a life is short, so I like to laugh and stuff. But heaven forbid, God forbid. But he's not here in the physical right now. But if you do, so this channel is for, like, we talk about Mount Climb to the Top, so it's like for like higher minded, conversations and stuff like that. So we definitely keep God in the forefront. So if that's not your cup of tea, there's definitely a lot of other baristas out there, that can serve the tea and coffee and things of that nature that you like. So me, I openly talk about the divine, you know, experience and spiritual stuff. So yeah, so when I say wife, I'm using it in the sense of, a man can't make me a wife. God made me a wife. God put the qualities of a wife within me. Before he made me in my mom's womb, and he knew me before I knew myself. So he put the qualities of a wife in there. And so I've been engaged. I've been, it's been told to me, everything that those are the qualities that I have and everything like that. But it's not necessarily anything that needs to be told to me. If you are a Bible reader, or you have any type of again, I'm not an evangelist. That's just this is me. This sharing myself, unmasking myself, just talking about stuff that matters to me and stuff, and then just opening conversation. So I am responsive. If that is the if you want to. If you want to ask questions, like somebody said, show the proof. So I don't know, show the proof of what, but I do know that for a large part, man-made constructs and concepts are backed up by man-made thinking, and stuff. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, like it is what it is. But I'm just following directions so I don't get fined. Just to fix it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I am a wife, but I'm not married, and I guess to show the proof, let me not that I don't have to prove anything, but where I would be taking my reasoning from would be, let me read it to you guys, because I'm not just whistling Dixie. And again, this isn't necessarily for for my ego. It's like titles and stuff like that, to me personally, don't really, they don't really matter too much. I'm a child of God, that matters. And I'd like to hear job well done. That's between me and my father and stuff like that. So let me see. And I am, again, and it's the thing between being a teacher and being an educator. I'm not a teacher on paper, but I have the educator spirit. Hi. If you delete? Okay, I don't know. Is somebody else deleting stuff? That'd be interesting. If you are, I appreciate you. Okay, so Proverbs. I think it's what is it? Proverbs. Let me see. Let me see. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to look up the Bible verse. Okay, Proverbs 31. Okay, okay. So there we go. And so so there's a difference between like the qualities and then the superficial. That's I think that's a lot of times where people get kind of misconstrued and everything like that. I don't really personally like to get into too many like online discussions and back and forths and everything like that. So yeah, so here we go. Proverbs, Proverbs 31, right? Proverbs 31 and everything. Let me make sure. Hello, Robin. I do see your message. I don't know why that's one. Why is that one stuck? Okay. 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 So yeah, I am just following directions. This has nothing to do with my ego. I have nothing to prove to anyone. And I guess that's just I guess that's a part of the whole thing. But yeah, so as far as like if you've heard about the Proverbs 31, I'm reading, from the Bible and everything like that, spiritual text, 2,000 years worth of content, over a span of time, 2,000 plus, whatever. So just it's a spiritual text, living text. So the virtuous wife, right? Who who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. And then this is like keep in mind too. This is versus the worldly wisdom of women ain't this and women da 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 blah 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 blah. Not every woman is a wife. Not every woman is necessarily and it's God's not. I'm not saying this on my own. It's his plans and everything like that. Just because a girl has a BBL, big butt, and some some high set tatas. You know what I'm saying? You want to lock it down, and then you're wondering like why is she for the streets? Because that's you picked her on stuff that wasn't necessarily internal, stuff that was superficial and external, and now we want to just broad stroke the whole gender. Like it's weird what people do. So versus the ones that's just like actually embodying the thing, they can get overlooked because worldly wisdom is and then it's all about looks, superficial stuff. So just keep that in mind. This is the actual qualities, spiritual qualities of a divine a wife with divine wifely qualities, and everything. Now you could be a wife and not be virtuous. There's wives who are tearing their own homes down brick by brick with the toxic stuff that's coming out of their mouths. That's not every woman. You know what I'm saying? And we're all coming from different places. So showing proof, here it is. Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. So if you are a guy married to a woman and you're finding that your pockets are going down, or your things are going downhill for you, you might be unequally yoked with someone that's not virtuous, or not she's not your kingdom spouse. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. you know she's not hard she's not scared of hard work. Like she will not hard work, it says willingly works with her hands, but labor. She is like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and a portion for her maid servants. Mind you, she has servants, so the guy is established. Her husband is established because she has maid servants. She considers a field and bides it. She uses her feminine wisdom, divine wisdom. From her profit, she plants a vineyard. So she takes what she gets from using her wisdom. business sense, and she reinvests it. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good. Again, divine feminine wisdom. And her lamp does not go out by night. She's not for the streets. She stretches out her hands to the distaff, and her hand holds the spindle. She extends her hand to the poor, so she has a giving nature. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. She thinks beyond herself. She's not selfish. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. Um, she makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine. Let me see. Let me make sure that this isn't. Her clothing is fine, linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. So her husband, a good wife will also help put her husband in proper position, for his goals. She makes linen garments and sells them. So she's entrepreneurial in spirit and supplies sashes for the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing. She shall now. Can you see strength? Can you see honor? Or are these internal integral things that are inherent? Not necessarily. It's not. I don't see anything about a big butt, a tight waist, and some perky tatas. I don't see anything here. Not yet. I'm not quite done. So maybe let's see. She shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. The law of kindness. She watches over the ways of her household, and she does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. One of my biggest compliments comes from my children. I love when they just genuinely, show appreciation and show their love. Like it's really good. So I can say that. I experienced it. I can say it and everything. I don't know why that one's still there. Her husband also, and he praises her, so she don't have a crumb bum. She has someone that actually appreciates what she brings to the table, brings to the table. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, so she doesn't just depend on, her good looks and stuff. But a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. I certainly do. That's my father. Till he gives me away. That is it for me. Give her of the fruit. He will never give me away, but I'm just saying, how a father traditionally gives his daughter away into marriage. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. So that's a virtuous wife. That's aspirational. What if anything's lacking in there, that if a woman who is a wife or to be, she. This is what I'm saying. Like it's like the language, like if you are a wife, you're a wife, whether you're married or not. Now placing yourself in a position to be found or all these other things, I say leave it up to God. In the meantime, just it's about just working on your relationship with God first and foremost, because He doesn't want anything to come between you and Him, anyways. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is like even if it is a spouse, like that's why you want to be in alignment. Like you both want to have a relationship with God so that you can, like, in covenant. I don't know who knows about, like, trust law, but you have the grantor, then you have the trustee and the beneficiary. And so, like, the grantor would be, in this instance, the grantor would be God, the trustee would be the husband, and the beneficiary is the wife. It is what it is, but they're connected, and all three makes a pretty stable thing. You know what I'm saying? Like like God is granting the wife to the husband to benefit and be taken care of. He's trusting this individual whose worth is far above rubies. You know what I'm saying? Like so all this to say that versus the worldly wisdom of just use her up until there's nothing left and then move on to the next youngest model. That's not of God. Period, point blank. So broad stroking it is not helping anybody, and it is what it is. So yeah, so I was instructed just to clarify. I'm not married. I am a wife. I'm not married. And then that's just that. That's just that. Like I don't need. Like it's not something like my kingdom spouse comes along or whatever. Again, it's not anything I'm Like it's like I'm like it's just is what it is. If it is to be, it's to be. If not, then God keeps me, and that's just grand and fine. I don't have I don't have dirty boxers to have to wash. Like I'm just like one less individual to to consider and everything like that. Like I mean, like people come with stuff, what I'm saying? So hopefully he's doing his work like I'm doing my work. So I'm not coming in with a bunch of baggage, he's not coming in with a bunch of baggage. Maybe when we meet and where we're supposed to meet in the divine timing, we can buy baggage and moniker it with our names on it and have fun and travel with the kids and have more kids and and it not be stress and it not be strife and it not be struggle, and stuff like that, which is what I've known up till now. I met some nice guys, but they were nice. They weren't aligned with God, so I wasn't ever going to work for us. We were not equally yoked, Not every situation I've had was doom and gloom and stuff like that. Mostly I mentioned the ones with the children because they're clearly the fruit. Clearly something happened there, like so I have kids. Clearly, somebody closed their eyes and a whoopsie they whatever, though they're the fruits of it. But not every experience was terrible or negative or bad. But I couldn't, again, I couldn't settle on multiple levels. Couldn't necessarily, how can I be with someone that that I'm expected to benefit from or lead from or learn from, and they're not necessarily walking in a way that a divine spouse or my kingdom spouse would need to be led, and everything. If I'm looking to God for leadership, and then he's supposed to be, how's he gonna grant me to somebody that's not in line with him? Like it's not gonna work. So married or not, I still bees what I bees and everything. And now I'm not, whether there's someone, what I'm saying? Like it's not, yeah, what I'm saying? Like I'm not an alley cat, so you're not gonna have to like what I'm saying? Like it's like guys, like how they say you can't make a hoe into a housewife. Sure you can. If God says so. If God says that's who you're supposed to be with, like that's what I'm saying. We can't just look and see. You can't just, these qualities aren't qualities that you just look and see. You know what I'm saying? They the qualities speak for themselves, the wisdom speaks for itself, the fruit speak for themselves, and everything. Like, a man is very blessed when he finds the woman that God has for him, because she's going to multiply whatever he's already working on, and God wouldn't grant her to him if he already didn't have something for her to be a beneficiary of. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like people are just trying to get they trying to put the horse before the cart, and that's just not what we're here for. And honestly, and marriage is nice, having a partner is nice, the idea of companionship is nice, but that's not what we're here for, and that's the point. Like he wants to make sure that he's our focus. He's he's the connector, he's the grantor, he has the beneficiary, and he has the he's the top of the triangle, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just beautiful. Of course, I'm not the end all be all of it, of the information or the concept or anything like that. Definitely open to respectful conversation and discourse about it. You know what I'm saying? Always open to learning more and deepening understanding and stuff like that. But that's just the clarity of the situation, and everything on this here Father's Day, this here beautiful Sunday, and everything. Raining or not, I feel so bad in this area. I'm like, the Father's Day is supposed to be the day where the grill masters come out and they bring out their spatulas and the music and everything like that. I'm not too sure why it's all rainy and cold when 2 days ago it was super hot, but hopefully some dads somewhere are able to get their grill on. You know what I'm saying? And everything. Cause like right now in Baltimore it's just like cold and rainy, and everything. But yeah, shout out again to all the dads out there, and all the ones that's just trying to be more present in their children's lives. I pray that the people that you made, the ladies, the young women that you made their children with, I pray that they, if they're the hindrances, that they move out of their own way, and just allow the children to benefit from both parents. And I'm saying this again as an unmarried wife. In the spiritual divine sense, and everything. Because never am I ever going to try to get into my own way and try to let my ego, try to let my ego, what is the word, lead, when it's just like, no, that's not what we're here for. Let the kids benefit as much as possible so that we can have we moving in the direction of the world that we want to see. So that's that. I think that's that. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off and everything like that. I do feel like that's, I don't know. I was just asked to just clarify and everything. Um, what was, what was on my heart and spirit to clarify. And, feel free to comment if you like the vibe. Definitely subscribe and everything. Definitely check out other videos. It's a free form platform. Again, safe space. Not going to tolerate any hatred or darkness or negativity and none of that. But just about, you can just about say anything else. Like we're all here. And hopefully each one reach one, teach one, and all that good stuff. Yeah, there's like, I feel good about it. There was like another thing that I was going to talk about, like, because I went to church today and I really loved the message, and it was like a part of the whole weekly theme, but I'm not going to do that right now. So I'm going to be signed off energetically. Everyone have a wonderful, like I said, Father's Day. Shout out to all the people that's like that. I mean, like, I just do feel love in the air, you know what I'm saying? Even though we are going into spring. So shout out to all the people who are, finding their kingdom spouses and it's working out for them and stuff like that. Just love, and just remember to covenant with God, between you two. You can't if you take God out of it, you get what you get. You know what I'm saying? Which isn't, that's not that lasting forever love. You feel me? So, and I wish that for everybody. Like, I got the lasting forever love with or without the spouse. That's what I'm saying. You win regardless. Like, when you're on the right team, you win regardless. Like, it doesn't even matter. And it is what it is. So, all right, sign off energetically, loving everybody. Bye.